Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It is morning today when we are recording, and thank you for joining us. Yeah, this is like the worst intro. Let's start again.
Sir, it's 1 p.m.
Oh, I woke up a couple hours ago. So, okay, 5 of them. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining Dose of Discourse podcast. So today we're recording our podcast live for the first time. It's kind of a test run, but we do have some people listening to us live, so shout out to them.
Yay.
So I guess let's start how we normally do. What are we drinking today?
You want to go
AJ,
first?
go first.
Oh, okay. I'm drinking black sesame soy milk.
Oh.
Very good.
Damn. I just finished drinking Genki, which is vitamin C, because I need a boost on my immunity. But since I finished, I'm drinking some matcha love.
Matcha what?
Old brew. Matcha love.
Ooh,
With some lemon and matcha green tea.
beautiful.
Thank you.
How about you, Tiffany?
I'm drinking an iced coffee from Dunkin' Donuts.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not supporting local, but
Ooh.
it was local next to the local business. I did support.
It was local.
It was local.
It was
me.
local.
According to osmosis, it's local.
It was adjacent.
And then today I'm just drinking plain old water out of a
What kind of
glass.
water? What kind of water?
It's
Oh.
filtered water from Wheeling, Illinois. So Great Lakes water.
Okay.
Highly recommend. Probably some of the best in the whole country.
Yeah, I
no.
agree. Chicago water hit different.
And it has to be from the lake, not the
Yeah,
well
yeah.
water.
Not the well water.
Mhm. We don't do well water. Yeah, I'm trying to do like a caffeine detox
Can't relate.
just for a little
Can't
while.
relate.
So I guess Tiffany, you're our content expert, curator. What are we talking about today?
Well, let me tell you what I labeled the document. So I labeled it 228 for today. And then the first line I had was rants. And that was it. So, yeah, I don't know. I think today, just anything you guys want to get off your chest.
What's pressing us?
Yes, what's pressing?
To our
us?
live members, you can comment below if there's anything you want us to talk about as well. Just let us know, and if we catch it, we'll mention it.
But the first thing I do have on there that I just added was tequila, because I know somebody in our group wanted to talk about tequila.
Oh, okay. That would be me.
Oh, Eric, so surprised.
So so it's not a big rant, but at the time I was like, so was it Kendall Jenner came out with a new tequila, and probably at the beginning of the week I saw so many TikToks about her and her tequila and how a lot of people were like angry because they consider it cultural appropriation. But before I get to my opinion, I want to know what your thoughts are. Like, what do you think about cultural appropriation? Do you think Kendall Jenner having a tequila brand is cultural appropriation?
I mean, I think if they're going to like go after specifically it's Kendall, right? Kendall Jenner.
Yeah.
Then they need to go after, like, there's literally so many other celebs that also own tequila brands.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I feel like right now they're kind of just going after her because it's like, the Kardashians, and they're always like
Mhm.
in the news, in the spotlight, and like, they're not the most well received people. So I think like if they're gonna specifically go after her, then they need to go after like, let me look it up. Justin Timberlake, Nick Jonas, Ryan Reynolds. Like, I think it's just because it's like specifically Kendall Jenner, like they're like going after her. like in my opinion. Like anything that they do, like it'll just be under like criticism under the public eye. So
Anyone else have any
yeah.
thoughts? So what about you, Tiffany? What if we do take into account all those people and they are like, there's an uprising on TikTok against all the people evenly and not just Kendall Jenner? Is that, I guess the more the question is towards cultural appropriation, is that cultural appropriation, do you think? Do you have any thoughts? I guess, do we know what cultural appropriation is? Because I feel like not everyone necessarily knows exactly what that means, but they have a sense of it.
I feel like everyone has their own, like, I don't want to say opinion, but is it standards of cultural appropriations? Like what they consider it?
I feel like every individual person kind of has like their own like it's like a range of what like you think is appropriate and not, because they're like, you know, there'll be like the people who be like, oh no, like they're okay with it, but then like other people of the culture might not be okay with it, you know?
Yeah, one of the articles I'm reading about that is saying that the quote, there was just a lack of respect to the culture and the importance of tequila to Mexico. She didn't even know how to properly drink it. And for an outsider to come out and say that in only 4 years and with no prior knowledge of the spirit, she was able to make the best tasting tequila is disrespectful. So I guess in a sense, if they're like pinpointing about that, I guess they have a reason why, especially since she's what, our age? And she shouldn't have been drinking tequila for so long. Or no, she's what, 25?
I
She's
don't know.
25.
So she's slightly older than us.
Yeah.
I think. So, okay. So do you
yes
have
or
any
no?
thoughts, can I, before I share what I think?
I mean, I don't really know tequila that well. But I mean, to some extent, I can understand why a lot of companies would be mad. But I feel like foundation wise, like yeah, she said what, it's her favorite alcohol, right? Is that what she said?
Yeah. I don't know.
So I understand that she has a love for tequila and that's why she wanted to make it. But a lot of the claims that she is making with the alcohol is I mean, I can understand why people could be angry about it. I mean, I
Yeah.
really don't. I mean, I think when I first saw that she was coming out with alcohol, I was kind of like, interesting. Like I was kind of like, why her? Because
Yeah.
you don't really associate, I guess, alcohol with Kendall. You kind of just see her as, supermodel, whatever. But I understand a lot of Kardashians doing a lot of entrepreneur type businesses nowadays. So I guess that she's branching, trying something new, which I feel is really good for her. But I mean, I guess I don't know. It's a lot.
I think it's just like the way you like go about it, I guess, like
Right.
how you're like if you do like the research into it and like know like the cultural like significance of it and stuff like that, it's different than just being like, oh,
We're the best.
you want to make a tequila, you just want to make tequila because you like tequila, blah blah blah, stuff like that.
Okay.
Did you hear what
Yeah, I saw what Leslie
said.
I was looking up that.
I don't really know what happened with the
I can
Mahjong.
I know about that, but if like Eric wants to like
Okay, so
like finish with like the
I'll get to my thoughts first, but just so people who are listening,
as the one who is actually Mexican here.
Yeah, but for the context, Leslie asked, talking about cultural appropriation, what about the Mahjong situation that happened? So we'll get to that next. But so on tequila. So I feel like I spent a lot of time in Chicago in spaces with a lot of people who critically think about like social justice and are activists, and I actually did a social justice minor. And there's like a plethora of different people who have different approaches to it. And the people that I see on TikTok, I would say probably they're not activists. They're just reactionary, and I don't blame them if they're trying to defend what they might consider like a minority point of view or like something that's insulting to the culture. But I think um, the thing is that like the purity, I guess let's go back to like what is cultural appropriation, and it was like that idea of disrespecting a culture. And so like the most classical example is um, when Black people have like their specific type of like African origin braids,
Right.
and then white people will criticize them for it, but then will go ahead and wear them, right? So that would be kind of like I think the best example of cultural appropriation. On the other hand, when we're talking about tequila, I feel like like at least all the TikToks that I had seen, like people were so outrageously angry about her making a tequila, and I just thought it was an overreaction because at the end of the day, um, like it's not. I think the there's a lot to unpack. First, um, I feel like there's not a good way to say like it doesn't come out well when you want to be a purist about things. So drinking tequila, I feel like you should be able to drink it however you want. Like as a Mexican, high quality tequila, you'll drink it, and if it's low quality, maybe you'll shoot it, right? And by drinking, I mean sip. So if she wants to add ice, there's some people who add ice. So in that respect, I think if you're trying to enjoy tequila, really enjoy it how you want. The the thing that I think most Mexicans would agree with, and I mean Mexicans from Mexico, not Mexicans from the United States, because it's not the same thing. I would think that they would generally be okay with it because it's an export of the culture. So you're starting to export more Mexicanness to the world, kind of how you export anime or something like that.
Mhm.
So there's that front. And then really it all comes down to capitalism. I'm sorry if this is going on long, but it comes
That's
down to
fine.
capitalism. So all the winemakers who are celebrities, they partnered up with sorry, not winemakers, tequila makers. They partnered up with big tequila makers. So in reality, they don't really have to spend a lot of time um like preparing and learning how to make tequila. Really, they're grouping up with some sort of partner, and then they're just paying money to get a label of their name on it or something like that. So I just think it's a little bit blown out of proportion. Um, and it's a little bit representative of the reactionary culture that we have, which I think overcompensates a little bit for, protecting
Mhm.
the little guy. But I think in that case, there's a lot of people who are not little guys. And for the most part, it's okay.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, people are still gonna drink it anyway.
Right. Like I wouldn't buy her tequila personally, but if more people are gonna drink tequila, that's good for Mexico because tequila is only made in Mexico. If it's made anywhere else, that it's not considered tequila.
Like yeah.
Um, and then I mean, there's other issues related to small farmers, but that's too complicated to get into right now. Yeah. All right. Sorry for the long rant, but that was what I was
No,
thinking about
no, go
today.
ahead.
This is what today is for, Eric.
Um,
Rants.
Yeah, so moving on to what Leslie wanted to ask about was about the mahjong situation. So does anyone here like know about it or have they heard about it?
No.
What about it?
I know
Happening.
I know Tiffany might have heard about it. Like have you seen like subtle Asian traits?
Mhm.
Yeah, so
what is subtle Asian traits for
so
those of
if
us
you
who don't
okay,
know?
so for those who don't know subtle Asian traits, it's basically a Facebook community of exactly what it sounds like Asians talking about like different traits of like the Asian community, no matter like what ethnicity you are and stuff. Like we all have like something in common. It's just like kind of community that has like different like sub branches of it that have sprouted from it, such as like an aesthetics group, like
A
being
dating group.
half Asian, being adopted, liking anime and stuff like that. So I think from this like this community, this is like where like all the like it all sparked is like someone made like a post about like these white women who um were making their own like mahjong line. So if you don't
Really?
yeah, so if you don't know what mahjong is, it's kind of like the Asian version of like poker, And there's definitely different rules. There's like the American way to play it and like different like the Chinese, Taiwanese, and the Filipino like way. Like it's like rules have been adapted. But the way these women like went about it is like they changed like the whole like the artwork like behind like mahjong and like the kind of like the cultural like significance behind it to make it more like Americanized and more like, you know, what's the word? They kind of just took like they said the new artwork was something to mirror their own personal style and personality and offer a refresh of American mahjong. And so it kind of, let me send a picture.
Yeah, can you like?
Where
maybe
is this
screenshot?
post?
I was trying to share my screen, but Eric disabled it.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Let me see if I
Okay.
can.
Because I have two
Wait, so
screens with it.
these group of women released a new
Okay, I
line
updated the settings.
mahjong?
Like a mahjong set, yeah. So
Yeah,
Is
it
it
was-
is it this one?
so it looks like this.
Oh shit!
no,
What is that?
no,
It's not this one?
it's not that one.
Is
Well,
it this,
this
one?
I think that's one of them.
Is
Yeah,
it this
it's
one?
no.
This one? Is it this one?
Yeah, it's like that one. Well, like that's
is
like one of the
that?
version. So it like took away like the whole like identification of like how you actually like play it and like the meaning behind all the symbols and stuff like that. And they're also like charging it. So a lot of people
Oh.
found it to be very like cultural appropriation and like very disrespectful towards like the cultural significance of the actual game. And they're selling it for like
Hundreds.
$325 to like $425
Oh my!
like each one. So
How would you describe them to the people who are listening? Like, how do they look like compared to the, I guess, original ones? I get.
yeah, so like the traditional mahjong sets have different like as like in like cards they have different suits. So it would be like the bamboo sticks. The let me look at the actual words. Actual. So there's like the bamboos, the characters, the dots or like the dots, and they have like the suits, the 4 winds, and then the 3 dragons and the flowers. So what they did is like, because in American mahjong, the way they call them, it's like the bamboos are like they're called like bams. They're just bams. So they like changed it to be like, hold on, let me pull up.
Something like this, right?
Yeah, they pull yes. Yeah, so they're
Sounds
just
like
like
Chinese
bamboo,
characters,
like they're Chinese characters, and like they have like the numbers, and they kind of just try to like, you know, make it all quirky and stuff like that, like as if they're like the way they went about it was like as if there was like something wrong with like the traditional way to play it, because like there's like ways to like if they want to create a mahjong line, there's ways to go about it without kind of like erasing like its like origin of it being like Asian. Like definitely like a lot of companies like really high-end companies, like they do sell like mahjong sets for like $1,000 and stuff, but like it's still like you can still see like where it comes from and stuff, versus like it kind of like just cultural erasure in that sense.
So okay, I guess let's define what part of it is then potentially insulting to some people or potentially appropriation. First, I'm hearing it's like erasure of the culture is the first thing I'm hearing. Is there?
I think so, because this game has been here since the early 20th century.
I don't know when the 20th century is.
Like
Early
the-
1900s.
1900.
Yeah, early
So is that
1900s.
like 100 years or like 200 years?
Well, it's just during the Qing dynasty.
Oh,
whatever
so
the-
like thousands of years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, because I know they took. I think they took down their website.
So it's established in 1636.
Century
With,
means
Wow.
with this
thousand.
dynasty. Yeah, with this dynasty. But I think the game definitely developed within the early 20th century.
So I guess okay. Here's a question. What if So I think this game is Chinese, right?
Yeah, it's
So
Chinese origin.
what if it was a member of? So in this case, it's definitely an American group, right? The issue I think is with the design and the rules.
I mean, the rules are like it's like just the American way to play it. It's just like the design wise,
So
where
it's just
it's
mostly the
like
design.
I
So
think
then,
peop-
what if it was a Chinese Gen Z person who decided to do
Modern.
a modern take, right? Does it? I guess the question is, does it have to come from them? Is that the idea?
I think it's just like coming from like someone who is like from that background is like they have like a more tied to that culture and more understanding of like what it holds. Because like from like what some people are saying, like the way these women went about it, it's like they're reducing like they're reducing it to like just be made pretty to like just to appeal to the Western audience.
So okay, I'm gonna give my thoughts. So I wouldn't. So if it's like a cultural relevance, I'm not like Chinese, so I can't give an opinion of how important it is, right, to their culture. So on that front, I have no say. On the other hand, I think at least for me, I lean towards a little like being open-minded towards innovation. Like at least for me, I understand tradition, but I would say I'm not a traditionalist in that sense. So, but again, that component of I'm not Chinese, so I don't have an opinion on that at all. Um, but just like in the broader on the scheme of things, and even when I was giving the example of like tequila, um, I lean more towards expansion and I guess relishing in diversity and expanding on that as being generally a good thing. I'm not saying that the mahjong thing is a good thing because I really don't understand how deeply important this is to like Chinese culture because I'm just not Chinese, so I can't really speak on that. But yeah.
I'm reading a thing that says that a lot of people are just mad that they took out the Chinese characters because it is originally a Chinese game. But they were trying to modernize it. So I guess I don't know. It could go both ways.
I really don't like I don't think they like had like the intent to be like
Yeah.
malicious or anything. It's just like
Yeah.
it's like in a place of like ignorance, you know.
Okay, I think that's interesting. So then a proper way then to approach this was to have included at the very least someone who's Chinese, like gotten their thoughts at the very least and say, hey, how can we take this to an American audience and still be respectful to the Chinese tradition?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
And then another thing is that they were claiming authenticity when they're not using like any of the I don't know. They said that they were improving upon the game. So I guess everyone was mad about that because why would you need to improve upon a game that's like thousands of years old? I don't know.
Yeah, so like in that sense they're like trying to like I don't know where I'm going with this, but hold on, I lost my train of thought. But because I'm trying to find like the original like post of
I took it
like
down.
they took it down. I think yeah, oh man. Because I was like trying to find the original post of like because there was like a long like like a long like essay about it. But I think it was like in a sense like they're trying because like in a sense they're kind of trying to imply like because man I don't know where I'm like not knowing where like I'm trying to say here like I can't
I think the main thing about
articulate it.
this was that it was like this new game was founded by 3 American women, rather than having an input from someone of that.
Yeah, it was just like they felt the need to
Yeah, like
like
change up
they
a
took it
game.
upon themselves to like quote unquote modernize it so like it'd be more quote unquote friendlier to
Yeah.
for like white people to play.
And but they didn't receive a 2 cent opinion from someone from that culture. So I think that's what people are mostly mad about, because it was founded by 3 white women, and
Mhm.
rather than like. So I think Eric said, if it was founded by 3 Chinese people, I think it would have been a totally different story. So yeah, I totally forgot that was a thing, but that was the end of 2020.
Yeah, that was the
Really.
end of 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, like in my opinion, like I'm like I don't think like if they want to make their own line, like make your own line, but like I feel like the way they made it, like it kind of made like everything like indistinguishable from like the actual like suits or whatever. Like I couldn't tell like what pieces were which.
Well, they before they took the phrases down off of their website, they said that it was a take off of American mahjong rather than Chinese mahjong, because I guess there's different rules. But
Yeah, I think it's just the way they like call the suits is like
yeah,
different, but like the rules all fundamentally are the same. It's just like their point scoring way. Because I know like the way I play mahjong is like different than like other people like I've seen play mahjong, like learning different rules.
I just play mahjong solitaire and call it a day.
The matching one.
Yeah, that's what I just play. I just play the matching one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like the conversation like like cultural appropriation is always such like a hold on.
You got cough.
It's just such a very like the topic stuff, because like it's like for like some things like you know like clearly like you can be like yes that's cultural appropriation, but then there are like some things where it's like it could be, but it's like you're not really sure, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like in a sense like K-pop is cultural appropriation of Black culture, like in a whole sense, like the way they go around with like rap K-pop and like a lot of their clothing styles and music video styles, and that's like a very big topic that was coming up, especially during like the peak of like the Black Lives movement, because a lot of like K-pop artists take a lot of inspiration from like Western Black music and artists and stuff like that. And I think like a lot of like people like go under fire for wearing like doing like a braids and like locks and stuff, and for being like Korean and stuff like that, and like the do-rags and other having like different Muslim symbolism in music videos, and that comes under fire a lot. And I think it comes to like down to like educating yourself on like the symbolism behind it instead of just like using it because it looks cool and stuff like that, you know.
But those were like the older music videos, though, right?
It still like happens
Oh, still?
like now, like I know. And then like there are people like it's like you see there are people who like from the culture who be like, oh, I'm okay with it, but then there are like people who are like,
Yeah. So
they're not okay. So there's like no like clear consensus with that, you know. I think that's a very like interesting like thing to go about, you know. Like where does the line like go with like things like cultural appropriation, like appreciating different cultures, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting things.
Ouch.
Okay, moving along from this topic before we get drilled. Is there anything else you guys want to rant about? I have nothing written here besides school, but I don't know.
School.
I mean, none of us are in. Well, Kanai's in school.
Kanai's in
still.
school.
Yeah, Kanai's in school, but
How's
that's up to
school been
her.
going for you? Anything
Yeah.
to update with like, cause you're in school like online.
We're not
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
how's
that.
that?
Like how
online
like
school?
We're not
how do
talking
you
about
feel?
that.
Okay, we're not talking about that.
We're not
okay.
talking about that.
Nope.
Mm-mm. It's just. It's.
Okay, here's an interesting thought that maybe we
Okay.
want to talk about.
Okay.
So I was watching this interesting video about how people think life is going to change after the pandemic is
Oh yeah.
approaching
Oh,
being
yeah.
done or whatever. And I guess like one of them I think is interesting is like I think it's the more obvious one is like fashion or hygiene, how people are going to change in that sense. It could be like face masks are going to be like a permanent part of our culture now. And it's interesting when you compare it to before, because I know a lot of Asian cultures would use face masks and stuff like that. And honestly, like Americans would make fun of it. And now they're doing it and it's part of the culture basically. But the more interesting thing that I saw come up was like the idea of there being a renaissance after. Oh, that's my phone. The idea of a mini renaissance happening after the pandemic ends, because people would have spent so much time inside at home, or just like a lot forced to do a lot more introspection, or all these kind of different situations that would not have happened otherwise. That the idea is that once it's over and people are out, it's going to encourage people to spend a lot more time with people than they normally would have, or want to spend way more time out than they normally would have. So that's the idea. I don't know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Yeah.
So I guess we can we can hone in on these with like
Unpack it one by one.
Yeah. So I guess the first question that I was thinking of was, would you still wear a mask after the pandemic is over?
Yeah.
My opinion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
You
You
can
can
go
go. You
first.
you finish. You finish
Oh,
your
okay.
Yeah,
thought.
go first. Yeah, go
You
first.
finish your thought.
I feel like I would, but in the state that I'm in, that might be really hard because I went to campus before
So
coming
those
here.
who don't know, Tiffany lives in Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah. I live in Iowa, so the people here, especially on campus, I think I saw like 7 people not wearing masks, even though
There's a
we're
mask mandate.
yeah. And I was just like, we're not exactly. I mean, let me tell you, our governor, she she hasn't been really proactive as I know the governor of Chicago has been, or Illinois, or is it Chicago?
Yeah.
Illinois.
Illinois? Okay, yeah. But he's yeah, so there's that. I don't want to say any names. But yeah, so it's I feel like even if I do, I know that people at work wouldn't mind it. They wouldn't judge me for it because obviously we're working literally like next to each other and whatnot. But I think going out in public, that would be a total different story. If I do decide to wear a mask past the pandemic, I don't know. Like I wish we would be able to wear it as we would in like the Asian countries where like if you're sick, oh wear a mask and blah
Mhm.
blah 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 blah. Like I don't think that's ever gonna be the norm here, despite us basically wearing a mask
Mhm.
for almost a year. So
Yeah.
I have
I
a
don't know.
question. In what situations would you wear a mask? Like, would you still like always wear a mask in public even after the pandemic is completely over? Or do you only certain times when you think you're sick or other people are, or like flu season, for example, where you think other people might get you sick? Like, what situations would you wear a mask?
You're asking
Okay.
me this?
Yeah.
Or like everyone.
Oh, it could be everyone. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. So masks, like the normal standard mask, like they're not specifically designed to like necessarily protect you from getting sick.
It's others, right?
It's to protect. It's so you don't get other people sick. So I just think, because like personally, like when I was still in school, like we had like Purdue has like a really big international population, so it's not like uncommon to see like people like before the pandemic like wearing masks. And like I definitely like would wear masks because like as you guys know, I have like pretty bad allergies. So it's just like even though I'm not contagious, it's so people just don't, you
I'm
know,
scared of you.
get scared of me from like for like coughing so much because of my allergies. But yeah, I used to like wear like I would wear a mask like pretty often because like I hang out with like a lot of people, and if one of us gets sick, like the chances of all of us getting sick is like very high because we spend so much time together. So like at a certain point, we kind of all just bought masks, and like if one of us was sick, like they would wear a mask, like just to hang out and stuff. But I don't think like I really don't know why it was such a big deal for people to wear masks. You know, like people were like, this is like against my rights. This is like restricting my freedom. You can't tell me what to do. But we've been telling girls what to wear in school like forever, you know? So like what's like the difference in like telling people to wear a mask?
I can't breathe.
That's so funny. I have
You know?
I have a cousin who shall remain nameless, but anyone who is related to me will know who I'm talking about. They're like, they were mad when Walmart mandated out masks, and they live in a different state, a more conservative state. But yeah, they were mad. I'm like, it's just a
It's
mask.
not,
Like I don't understand
it's
that
not
either.
that deep.
It's covering your mouth. I mean, okay, if you want to go down and give them the biggest benefit of the doubt, right? Uh, I think the belief is that eventually it's gonna be a slippery slope, and the government is gonna demand you wear or do other things. But I feel like that's
Yeah, I guess, but that's just a very that's
too
such
much.
a
Yeah, that's a fallacy.
that's a logical fallacy.
Yeah,
Like we learned this in school. So
so, I don't,
it's like really it's like not that deep. Like I'll be real. It really isn't. Like cuz like Eric said in Asia, like it's very common to wear masks like out of respect to like not get other people sick or like in general because like China has such a high like pollution, like air pollution, and like it also like carries to other like countries like in Japan and like Korea. Like it's common to like wear a mask to protect yourself like from that pollution and stuff like that. And I think like the difference comes from like the values of like those countries versus America, because America is a very individualistic society where it's like nothing's wrong with that. Like people think of themselves first versus like thinking about like the community, you know? So it's not that deep, just wear a mask. Like honestly, make it like it's like the most frustrating thing that we're still in this pandemic because people don't want to wear masks. And then like, you know, it's like, you know, I'm not even gonna like people who like still like throw like really big parties. Like you see like influencers and stuff, like they like go on and throw all these like huge parties for their birthdays and stuff. And then they like come up, they're like, oh yeah, like we all got tested. And I'm like, yeah, so what? Like you can still test positive within like a few days after taking the test. And also like that's just like you're just taking away like tests from like people who like might actually need it just for like your own selfish reasons, stuff like that. Like yeah, like there's nothing wrong with like hanging out with like a few people, because like I definitely like hang out with like Eric and Kanai like sometimes, but like not throwing huge parties and stuff like that.
Speaking of huge parties, I saw somebody on my Snapchat feed. I won't
Oh,
say
no.
names, but I'll let you guys know after. Was at a college party, and it was like 100 people at a house,
Is
all
someone
not
you
wearing
know? I
masks.
feel like
that's a
just
lot
like-
of people.
I was just like, what the heck?
Where? Well, let's talk about it
I
later.
can. Well, it might.
No.
Might
tell us
it'll show-
later. Tell
It'll
us
show up
later.
in Eric's chat, but I'll tell you guys later. But I was just like, what the heck? Ridiculous. I
Okay.
mean, I'm not surprised. They're college kids.
I guess. So what do you think, Kanai? Do you think there would be actually? Sorry, I turned up my mic. So what do you think, Kanai? Would there be a renaissance?
Like the roaring
Like
roaring
yeah,
20s,
I
like a
think that sounds so
party.
fun, like the Roaring Twenties. Like okay, or you can take that question, or you can consider like what is gonna change for you after like the pandemic is like more normal. You're gonna what's gonna happen?
Well, I'm not gonna go out and and have a party as a lot of other people will want to do. Sorry, I was taking a quick Takis break. I was hungry, but yeah, I was hearing everybody, and it's really this whole situation is really frustrating. I think um, it's just we could have tackled this really soon, but instead,
Or in a
the
lot better manner.
yeah, I mean, like during that time, I was working at a Japanese grocery store, so it's not common to see a lot of international Asian people wear masks because we I mean, the purpose of a mask has two sides, right? A white and a blue. And the purpose is either to protect yourself from other people, or if you want to reverse it and you protect yourself from others, right? It's like droplet precautions, you get all of that. And a lot of people, first of all, didn't know the difference. So you'd see a lot of people wearing this and that, whatever. Okay, blue is out, period. And there was just a lot of people who didn't wear them correctly, and a lot of people who didn't want to wear them correctly, which I thought it was so frustrating because not only are you okay to just exposing yourself, but you're okay with possibly exposing or transferring your disease or whatever to other people, right? So the purpose of wearing the mask is just it's out the window. So that's one thing that frustrates me, and I can feel my blood like really boiling because oh, and I think even right now, with all these COVID vaccinations happening, like we're nowhere near finishing tier one of vaccinations. And with this vaccinations, there are side effects and whatever. As in me, I had a lot of them. But the purpose of it is still to protect other people, like our families and whatever. So especially when we work our way through the whole community, once we all try to get our shots, then we trying to work our way to normalcy, right? I don't think we'll be having a renaissance type esque thing. I can see a lot of places trying to be back at this normal state of being, bring everybody back to school, bring everybody to this, but it's just not quite possible. I don't think. Like especially in the next maybe year or two, I don't see us transitioning back to a normal state of how we were before, right? But not in a sense of oh, we're going back to the Renaissance. I do feel a lot of people are going to throw parties. I do think people are wanting to have this idea of, okay, we all have our COVID shots, we can go back to normal. But I still don't think it's not enough. Like, we still have to keep wearing masks. Like, I'm still going to keep wearing a mask because it'll protect myself, it'll protect my friends if I see them. It's just a matter of precaution. And I'd rather be cautious than oh we're vortex whatever pandemic is gone, okay, let's go back outside, everything's back to normal, I can just see you guys, we can go out to parties, we can go out to bars, let's go. Like I don't think I'll have that mindset until a very long time. And that's when like after everybody's vaccinated, and the question of vaccination to everybody is so questionable, especially with people with autoimmune or pediatrics. You know, those people don't have access or they can't get it yet. So I don't really see myself seeing us back to normalcy anytime soon, and I will be wearing my mask. But I just really wish people would be careful and be cautious of others. Like we have to care for one another, and it kind of frustrates me that people don't give a shit about not wearing a mask properly to begin with and not wearing a mask in general because they don't think they're gonna get it, then they're just being ignorant. And that's my rant. And I can't keep going because okay, I'm done.
I don't think we're ever gonna go back to that sense of normalcy.
No.
Because, and that's not a bad thing,
No.
because definitely, like, there are like definitely some good things that have come from like this pandemic.
For
Because like, you know, like the whole sense of like, you know, being able to work from home, like having that option, like when a lot of companies are like, that's not possible, like, no, you can't work from home, but like suddenly, like it's possible, like suddenly you made it work, like
sure. Right.
that you think that they're just like, it's like exposing a lot of like flaws in like people's logic, like companies like that, they're like, you couldn't work from home, like the idea of like having like the stimulus check and stuff, like even though it's like, you know, it's like not the best, but like the idea of like, you know, like you government is able to provide one, it's just like they just don't want to, and that's really exposing the flaws. And I think, and especially in like American, like the American government, especially in the eyes of like the country, and it shows like, you know, like the America system is a very flawed system as well. And I think this is, oh yeah,
No, you can finish with that.
yeah, and I think like this, like the pen, like hope, like what I want to see like come out of this is like we keep moving like towards this like progressive state of like, instead of just like having to like, you know, work 9 to 5, 5 days a week, like there's like other options out there, and like it's still feasible for that, for like people like being able, like, because like, you know, some people are thriving in like this online schooling and stuff, and it doesn't diminish like the education behind people who have before pandemic chosen to do classes online and stuff like that. Go ahead, Eric.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say, because I think that idea of the Renaissance is, that's exactly what it means. Like, it's not necessarily a back to normal, but it's like a because the Roaring Twenties is not, I wouldn't call it a Renaissance. The Roaring Twenties is the Roaring Twenties. The Renaissance is sort of like a shift in philosophical thinking and growth.
Mhm.
And so I think, like, for that example you gave of people starting to work from home or changing their work habits, I think that would be part of what a Renaissance would constitute. And then I think that there's two components, like when we feel as individuals that the pandemic is over, and when large groups of people feel the pandemic is over. Because that probably at least a half of Americans are gonna, as soon as we have herd immunity, as soon as there's like 60-70% of 80% of people have their shots, they're just gonna act like normal. Like they're going to go back to normal, whatever normal was for them.
Yeah.
For us, or for whoever is not comfortable at that point, still, that's different. So I think, yeah, well, I don't know. That's it.
Yeah, and it's like interesting to see like how like in like the future like this all goes, because like it could be like, you know, how people get the flu shot like every year because there's different strains of the flu. Like we've already seen like there's different like mutations of like of COVID. So it's like, is this vaccine, is like, are we gonna have to develop like different vaccines for like new strains as they come and stuff like that? And it's like, you know, it's kind of like interesting to like think about, like, because it's like for like a lot, like the past like year, like all like we've just lived like in this pandemic, and it's just like it's kind of weird to like eventually like suddenly it's not gonna be here anymore, you know? Like a lot of people, like a lot of kids like are like having like very like milestone like times in their life, like during this pandemic, and it's like we're having like kids who are like growing up in like very important years of their life, like through this pandemic, how this like will shape like the future and like how they react to things like as they grow up to like be like adults and stuff like that, you know?
Let's bring out some positives that came out of this quarantine, this pandemic. I feel like there are some good, you know, adaptations or a simulation that we've added to our lifestyle because of this pandemic. I mean, I feel like I became really close with my brother during this pandemic. I was able to actually like hang
You
out
can
with
see,
him.
like, we see Eric right now, and he's like not same. Like, he's like, get me out of this house.
No, I mean, I don't blame him. Like, there are times when, like, me and my brother cannot stand each other.
Especially like
because-
you guys have like that large age
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, we
thing
have
too.
we have such different. I mean, there are times when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go play with my friends." I'm like, "Wow, like that kind of hurt," but like,
It's because
just
he used to always want to play with us
I know,
too.
but you know, he's at that stage where he's 13, so he has friends and whatnot. But I feel like there are times when we just kind of sit together, we play. Like he's kind of the one that brought me into the Minecraft world too. So I haven't played in a while, but he tries to incorporate me with his new lifestyle. But we're just able to talk to each other now.
Mhm.
But we can also scream and yell at each other. Yes, but we can also just chill and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" You know.
Leslie commented something very funny that I would like to share with everyone. Something that is trending at the moment is people canceling March and, and creating February 2.0.
Why? That's my birth month.
Yeah, I asked Leslie, and she said, after streamer Carl Jacobs says it's unfair that February only has 28 days, some have decided to cancel March and call it Feral February 2.0.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, okay. That's actually funny. Like off topic, but why does February only have 28 days? Like who chose specifically
I know the answer.
specifically February? You know the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
So it's one of my like Wikipedia, Google, YouTube videos, like rabbit holes. It was at some point in time, February was the last month of the year, not
Yeah.
the second month. And so like,
Interesting.
it just got all the leftover days, and it just so happened it wasn't 30 or 31, it was 28, 29. And and then I don't the real question is, why did someone move it to be the second month of the year? Why are there 60 minutes in a day, 12 hours?
The Roman calendar is weird. Time is a social construct.
Yes, all of that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like how
Sorry,
Leslie.
October isn't the 8th month of the year anymore.
Oh, she said that she did not hear you.
Okay, I'll say it again. Sorry, Leslie. My mic was muted.
Oh my god, his mic was
So basically, February used to be at the end of the year, and now
So it
it's
got
not.
the leftovers, is what I said.
oh man.
Yeah,
It's okay. You know.
'cause I have my washing machine in the background, and I feel like my webcam would pick it all up.
It's okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's like
Interesting.
it's kind of weird.
Weird. Kind of.
Okay. Well, commenting, going off of kind of what Kenai said. Two things she said.
Hmm.
First of all, can't relate. The relationship I have with my siblings is very, very different. Me and my sister, I think, are kind of how you and your brother are in terms of age difference. Me and my sister are 10 years apart, almost
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a lot more of a
Teaching.
almost like a parental relationship
Yeah.
and less like a sibling relationship. And I grew up with my brother, who's like 2.5 years younger than me. I would say is a lot more of a sibling relationship. We definitely played a lot and stuff like that, but I wouldn't say that we have a strong relationship. We have very, very different philosophies and points of view
That's so funny.
and approaches to life that are kind of in conflict. So
That was a nice way to put it.
yeah, I mean, like
I'm proud of you.
we can get along. We get along, but sometimes we fight, and I don't know. We don't fit well. We're family.
Oh, cute.
That's what ties us
Awesome.
together. But what are like good things from the pandemic? I really like working from home a lot, actually.
Save some gas.
You save gas, you save the driving trip. I could be driving 20 to 40 minutes one way, and that'll be like an hour plus per day, and you're getting that back in like as sleep or as
Personal
like
time.
relaxation time or however you want to spend that. And that's like
Right.
5 hours a week. And in a month, that's like 20 hours. That's a lot of time. So that's one of my favorite things, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I know you've worked from home and you've also like worked like in the office as well, like different
Yeah.
times in the
Mhm.
pandemic.
Yeah, I think it's nice to just be able to like get up 5 minutes before, let's say, class or whatever you got to be on,
Yeah.
and just like look decent in this frame and be like, toodle doo, I'm here.
Hmm.
I also liked refining my baking slash cooking skills. I feel like I've been cooking a lot more.
I think that was the downside. Everyone was baking and cooking. Everything was sold out.
True, that was
Not
true.
had
Everything was
yeast for
sold
the
out. All the
2
yeast was
months.
sold out. You
That's
know,
crazy.
everyone was like suddenly painting during a pandemic, and I'm like, bro, I can't find like the color white anywhere, the color black. Like everything was sold out, and I'm like, I'm trying to run a business here. And how can I when everyone is buying paint for no reason all of a sudden? But yeah, I think it was nice that like people were able to like, you know, like since they have like more, I guess like more quote unquote time, like because like if you like work from home and stuff, like to be able to like pursue like hobbies or like more deeply than like they might have been able to, or like everyone's like kind of inspired off one another to like be creative and
Mhm.
stuff in a sense. How about you, Tiffany? Anything positive with the pandemic
Gaming.
for you? Gaming?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
She said, eh.
I
Yeah.
mean, okay, well, school-wise, so the quarantine started at the end of our senior year.
Yeah.
So my schedule that senior year was terrible. I was literally on campus like at least like 8 hours a day because I had, I think, a
Oh.
biochemistry lab, and like that took up like 5 hours at a time and whatever and everything. So once quarantine started, we never had to do, like, my professor wasn't prepared, and so he didn't have like the laboratories, like he didn't have demonstrations for that or anything. He literally told us to read the lab protocol and then just write our lab report. He just created data for us, so like that was kind of nice. Like, I don't know, in terms of my second semester, like the last semester, school was okay. Like, my math class, that went terrible because I never understood anything online because my professor sucked at that. But it was nice to not have to be on campus all the time in terms of that school. But then after that, like, it was hard. Like, it was hard to reach out to get help, which I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
the kids
Yeah.
now can relate to that because
True.
I'm sure a lot of them are struggling. Like, I know, like, I think Leslie said something about what about the increased mental health issues that arise in quarantine? Like, I could definitely tell that happens to a lot of people because especially those who either move to a new city by themselves, um or staying by themselves, or just like in isolation in their home doing the same thing over and over again. Like, that can take a toll on you, especially if you're, I guess, working from home like Eric or something. Like, your routine kind of gets the same, like becomes the same thing over and over again. You wake up, go to your desk, sit down, do work for like 8 hours a day, get up, eat, and then go back to bed. Like, that's what I feel like right now, even though I am physically going to my lab and working there. But it's just like an endless cycle of the same thing over and over again. Like, it was a nice change of pace to go to a different city yesterday. Like, it felt so different, but also, I don't know. Like, yes and no. It was
Yeah.
positives and negatives to this. I don't
So
know.
something Leslie also like asked is like, how do you think like this increases in mental health issues affect us as a society and also the healthcare system? So
Oh, we love Leslie.
I think like ooh, sorry. I think like even before the pandemic, like like addressing mental health issues were like not always the best. Like I know like personally like on Purdue, like I know many people have been trying to like go see like a therapist or see someone to get help, and like there's not enough resources for them to be able to see someone. Like you'd have to like schedule someone like a month in advance, or like you'd get turned away because like your issues aren't quote unquote like serious enough, and then um I think that's like something like to just like I think like definitely like more funding needs to go into like, and resources needs to go towards like mental health issues, and like getting more resources out there for people, and like more awareness, and like just in general like normalizing it, because like a lot of like more people than you think have some sort of like mild like mental issue and stuff, and it's like not something it's not something that's like to be ashamed of, because we all get like sick like physically, like with like getting sick from like the flu or stuff like that. Like mental issues aren't that different. It's just like your brain is sick, stuff like that. And something like I also remember reading is that um a lot of like a lot of people like are stressed, like things that like cause them to be anxious and stuff. A lot of that can be like fixed by fixing our like economic system and our social like system in the government. Like they say like like money doesn't buy you happiness, but like money solves like a lot of like your problems and stuff. Like people can't get help if like they can't pay for like a therapy session because they're worried about having to feed like their children, like having to feed themselves, and like investing more into like funding like that raises like the wealth gap between like people and stuff like that also, I believe, will greatly help with like a lot of people's like mental like issues, like being things that people are anxious about, because like a lot of it has to do with like you know like a lot of racial issues and like socio-economic problems and stuff like that.
I think that ties in with what was I gonna say? I got distracted because somebody called us Twitch chat and not YouTube chat.
Oh, what's up, Twitch
Gonna go.
chat?
Oh yeah. So I did like a very very mini Instagram live, and
I like
we
this
should do
shirt.
that. We should do that.
An Instagram live. Yeah.
And that's how I think I hooked in PC Jazz.
Oh, you
It's
did an
yeah.
Instagram live?
Yeah,
Weird.
it was really
Okay.
short. It was like 2 minutes,
Oh,
but there was
okay.
like 10 people that like popped in and out.
Okay.
Right.
We can do
Yeah.
that at like at the beginning before we
Yeah.
start.
Going
Yeah.
back to Tiffany. Let's go
But
back.
going back to what I said, I think the bills, like the money aspect, also created an increase in like mental health issues because the job situation. Finding a job at the beginning of quarantine sucked,
Yeah.
and I'm sure AJ can relate to that. Like
Yes.
it took forever to even get an interview, or I got interviews, but hearing back from anybody like either they ghosted you
The
or they just said, "Oh, sorry, we can't accept you right now," or they had to close the position because they didn't have enough money. And then same
hiring
thing with
freezes.
yeah, and stuff like that. And it's just like a lot of people would have people are just suffering with like keeping up with everything, especially those who lost their job due to the pandemic and just all that stuff. I'm sure that adds up to a lot of problems.
Hmm.
Eric doesn't read books.
Now, thank you, Leslie. She says appreciate responses. She says, now to change the topic and make you rant again a little. What is something popular now that really annoys you? Something that like something that's popular that annoys me, or like Cause like I know things that became things that annoy me because they became popular.
What is popular now that really annoys you? I feel like there's something, but I can't like pick it out.
It annoys me how mainstream things like K-pop and anime are now.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
I'll just state it. I love that like more people are like discovering it and stuff. But I'm gonna say, why was there a line for me to go in the anime store in the mall the other day?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a line for me to get in the anime store.
Wow.
So
Which one was it? What store?
the
Cool?
Too Cool one in Schaumburg.
Oh.
Yeah,
Mm.
but
I think
like,
it's fine
yeah.
that it's finally like being okay to watch, because I remember when we used to talk about like Naruto and stuff, like I felt like we were the only ones talking about it.
Like there were closeted fans.
Yeah.
Like there were I knew there were a lot of people who like Dragon Ball and stuff. Like that was the thing. But like I don't know, like now it's just like common for like people, like especially I feel like, just like people like I knew like not in college to just
Just mad she's
casually
not edgy anymore. She's not a hipster anymore.
with whom you No, it's just like cause like I mean it was like common like for me in college because like
Right.
as you know, I hang out with like Asians.
Yeah.
So like
hang
that was
out-
like
Mhm.
I hang out with like Asians, so like that's like a very common thing. Like
I think it's nice that it's finally like being normal, but also you can't just say that you watch anime and it just turns out to be like haiku and like I don't know. Like okay, yes, you yeah.
That's
I
so
mean,
funny.
it's there. Some people are just dipping their toes in it, so that's
Yeah.
good. But you can't be
Right.
like say like you're an anime lover if you're only watching like
One.
one or two or like Demon Slayer or something like the most mainstream stuff. Like a lot of people are like, oh my god,
Especially
My
right now.
Hero Academia, blah 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 blah. But like, what about the older ones? Like, I mean, like, yeah.
there's some older ones. Where are my One Piece fans? Who is on
One
like
Piece is
chapter
good.
1000? Oh my god.
I'm trying
But
to watch those.
yeah, like
It's
I
just
think it's
so
good.
many. There's just
It's
so
definitely
many.
good for like, it's good for like the economy in like those countries for like,
Yeah.
because like, those like animators are like highly underpaid.
True.
Yeah.
Like they are, if you like there's a documentary out there. If I find it, like I'll definitely like post it on like our Instagram. But it's like there's like a whole documentary of like this woman, like she animates like for a very popular show, like I think it already ended, and she's like, yeah, she doesn't like make that much, and she spends like very like so and so amount of hours like to fill deadlines, and like I think it's good. So I must say, if you're going to watch anime, make sure
Watch the OG
try to
one.
watch it on like an like a legal site. But like don't watch it like illegally. Like support like if you can. I just see Eric laughing.
I thought you were gonna say, do watch it on a legal site and
Illegal
support the
site.
creators.
No, you want to support the creators and watch it like where like they're
They're
gonna get like money from it.
Paid. Yeah.
Where they're gonna get paid and stuff.
Yeah. I just find it funny because recently I was part of this Twitch group or Discord group,
Oh.
and I didn't realize that people that I've known for a very long time are like closet weebs, and it's a very interesting to see
Where
what kind
were
of
you guys when me and Tiffany were drawing Naruto?
I know. I'm like
Yeah, I used
I'm
to
like,
practice
wait.
drawing the leaf, the leaf, the hidden.
Playing Sadness and Sorrow in the
In the
music
play,
rooms.
yeah.
Playing Wedding Dress in the music
Yeah.
rooms. Yeah.
Dude, I still remember how to play it. Like I think of break, I sat down at the piano and started playing. I'm like, where am I manifesting this wedding dress song from like
Yeah.
5 years ago?
I definitely think like definitely I'm not trying to like gatekeep, like
Yeah.
not like that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, no, but like I think it's like a good thing, like especially like K-pop and stuff, like things are like it's becoming more like Western. Like definitely there are people like who still like don't like it, like they hate on
Oh
it.
yeah, for sure.
Like, definitely. And but I think it's like it is a good thing, like getting like the exposure is like more out there to music, like the music industry and stuff, and like
Nice that there's more people
yeah.
watching and
But I
listening.
think like the downside is like the ones that get the most exposure to like in the Western audience, like though like there that just creates a lot of like very like toxic fans, like the fan base of like other groups like just get like more like bigger, and like in turns that like creates a more toxic like environment and stuff.
Did you know that the Haikyuu fans are gatekeeping the Haikyuu? Because
Why?
there's a new volleyball anime
Oh
called
yeah,
like
there
Seiju High
is,
School or
but it's
something.
different. It's
It's
different.
totally different, but
Yeah.
the Haikyuu fans are gatekeeping it, and I'm just like, just let it. It's a
Get over
totally
it.
different story.
No
I
need to
know.
gate-
It's just like,
Like there's gonna be
Sorry.
different.
yeah.
Oh, there she goes. She's gotta take a call.
Bye.
But yeah,
But anyways, if you liked watching anime like Haikyuu or stuff like that, go ahead, keep watching. Just if you enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't watch like any anime. The only anime I watch is like right now Attack on Titan, and I think that's it. That's the only anime.
I think you'll like Dr. Stone, Eric.
we've been
You
telling
keep
you
on
about
saying
it.
that, but
I think you would.
Like yeah, I actually like for
Like
those
it's
who don't know what Dr. Stone is, if you like science kind of stuff and like kind of it's like it's kind of like Minecraft rebuilding civilization and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
highly recommend it.
I think little AJ would enjoy watching Dr. Stone. It might be like too advanced science for him, but it's good like if
Yeah.
he is thinking about something science related in the future.
I'll let
It's a
him
good
Another one that's science related. Cells at Work. Y'all know that it's about the human body.
know. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
that
he's
was fun.
about
going.
biology.
I
think
feel
he's
like
going
Kanai
through-
would like that. You would enjoy watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like cutesy
it's like stuff you learn in class, but like
Ugh.
simplified.
and cutesy.
It's better. But
I think AJ's just going through like the popular list of animes that are on Netflix right now, and then just continuing whatever seasons left.
but
on,
yeah, I'm gonna
Crunchyroll.
just say like yes, I'm glad people are liking anime and K-pop more. But if you were one of those people who like judged people for liking anime or K-pop, and you'll be watching
Y'all are hypocrites.
Demon Slayer now, watching Haikyuu now, shame on you.
I
Shame
think
on
that's what I
you.
was trying to go for with
Y'all are
my
Shame on
hypocrite.
you.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to
Like
say.
don't like honestly like what you like, but don't shame people for
for liking
liking something unless if you're like a pedophile or something.
oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
no, we don't.
It
No,
was,
but
it was
That took a
implied.
turn.
but yeah, but yeah, you like what you like, and that goes
Yeah.
for anything. Like
You know what's
like
a
in
really
anime.
nice phrase that I learned?
Yes.
Someone said, "Don't yuck my yum." I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Don't yuck your yum.
Yeah, it was at a cultural center.
Eric.
Don't yuck my yum.
Yeah, like it was a thing that they said often. Often.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think that's a good stopping point. We already
Yeah.
hit the 1 hour mark.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So
Well, hopefully no one drills us today.
but yeah. Lesson of the day.
Don't
Enjoy-
yuck someone's yum.
Don't yuck someone's yum.
I'm
You
sorry.
do you. You like what you like.
Yeah.
Like don't let anyone like judge you for it, you know?
True.
Like cuz eventually one day maybe it'll become
Probably
mainstream.
like him. Mm-hmm.
It will be mainstream maybe.
You'll probably like him too.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So-
You never know.
Let's end on a recommendation
I have
Is
a
there-
recommendation for a
yes.
cake.
for cake.
Go for
For
it.
some dessert.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We
Okay,
could do
well,
dessert recommendations. I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I have a family friend. Her name is Joe Bakes. She made us a really cute. I wanted to give a surprise to my DOD host and Tiffany, even though she's far away in Iowa. So I was able to share some cake with Eric and AJ. I have some pictures before we devoured them. So here's
you
our.
can't-
Oh,
if you
that's
ca- for
look at
those
that logo.
listening,
That's so cute.
Yeah,
it's a cake of our logo.
And then I was able to get us this little cute cake.
So cute.
And we did get an ube flavor, but I wasn't sure that Eric was gonna like it, so I can't even like. There you go.
Yeah, you gotta do the YouTuber stance.
I know.
The hand behind it.
YouTuber. But yeah, shout out to her, Jill Cakes. You can check her out on Instagram. She does really, really beautiful job with the cake. It's super good, and I hope you guys liked it. And I hope you liked your cake, Tiffany, even though it wasn't from Joe Cakes.
But mine's also local. Mine's from Allie's Cupcakes.
She's a local.
Local.
Well, it is because they only have
True.
2 locations. One in Chicago.
Yeah.
No,
No, no, no,
there's
no,
one
no,
in-
no.
No, yeah. So it's
Yeah, more now.
it's in Illinois or Iowa.
Where are
In
you?
Iowa. Where am I? Yeah. So and they won competitions with their cakes. So I know that Jesse's parents always come here. And then they're always like,
Yeah.
"Let's get Molly's cupcakes." So
How about you, Eric? What's a dessert you like?
Man, I lost my sweet tooth recently. I like everything is too sweet for me. I feel like I don't know.
You're getting old.
where's a place that you like to get your sweets from?
Do you
Like,
know
where
what I
do you
bought
get
recently?
tres
Maybe
leches
this
or
is very adult. I started buying dark chocolate.
I feel like you've been dying dark chocolate.
Yeah.
This one is from. It's like a sea salt caramel. Dark.
Mm,
Oh, those are
that's
delicious.
good.
Yeah.
I think lately for me, I've been buying, like dessert wise, I've been buying a lot of cannolis.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really like cannolis. Like I've gotten them from like Tony's. I gotten them from Nino's. Like
Oh my
if there's like places
gosh.
that sell cannolis like on the menu, I'll like try it.
Oh, you know what's one place I always thought of cannolis with?
What?
Carlo's Bakery
Oh yeah.
New
But-
Jersey.
in New Jersey. Oh, so good. I tried them.
Yeah.
Delicious.
One of my bucket lists to go.
Oh,
You gotta
gosh,
go.
that's
That's a
yeah.
whole different story. I remember
Yeah.
crying one time.
Yeah. So yeah. Thank you guys all for listening. Shout out to those who are watching us live. You can check us out on YouTube for our live, and we'll post like our VOD for that on YouTube. And yeah.
Right, for all our podcast audio listeners, yeah, make sure you check us out on our live shows. Follow us on Instagram at Dose of Discord. Email us if you have any interesting questions or topics or guests that you can think about. That's doseofdiscourse@gmail.com, or just DM us.
DM us.
Instagram.
We answer pretty quickly.
I think Insta would be the fastest.
Yeah.
Insta.
I
Yeah.
don't check the email often.
I still
Oh.
haven't logged in yet. So
Oh.
there's that.
I haven't either.
So yeah, that's us signing off. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.